There's this idea that in San Jose, people are just camping. But what if I told you they're not camping? They're building, not tents. I'm talking actual structures, entire communities, a kind of survival city. It's got a name, La Jungla. And look, if you think this is some new thing, you really haven't seen the bigger picture. To get what's really going on, we have to start with one simple, fundamental question. So, here it is. Is what we're looking at camping? Or is it building? I mean, really think about it. Because how you answer that one question, well, it changes absolutely everything about how you see the story.
All right, so first, let's just establish the facts. Let's dig into the history behind this name, La Jungla, and figure out what it really means today.
Okay, first things first. The jungle, it's not some urban legend. It was a real, documented place. A massive, sprawling encampment along Coyote Creek that the city officially cleared out way back in 2014. This is our starting point for all of this.
And this right here is so important. Even way back then, the news reports weren't just talking about tents. No, they specifically described people building with wood, creating actual makeshift homes. So this idea of building to survive, it has been part of this story from the very beginning.
So when you hear someone talk about La Jungla today, they're probably not talking about that one spot from 2014. What they're really describing is a pattern, a system. It's this cycle that just keeps recreating these encampments, this city inside the city, in all these hidden corridors. It's not a location anymore, it's a phenomenon.
Okay, so that brings us to the evidence we see on the ground today. And you'll see what we're looking at is so much more than just camping. It's a form of modern-day survival engineering.
After the original jungle was cleared in 2014, city paperwork shows that 208 people were permanently housed. And look, that's a real number, a serious effort for those individuals. But it also tells us something else, right? The root cause wasn't solved. The pattern of people being moved and then having to rebuild somewhere else, it just kept going.
And this is what that pattern looks like today. We're not just talking about tents here. This is survival engineering 101. You see pallets and plywood being turned into walls, into roofs. You've got extension cords for power, makeshift rooms carved out for privacy, and even fences and layouts that start to look like little neighborhoods.
And that really just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? This isn't a weekend getaway. This is a desperate attempt to create some kind of stability, some permanence, in a world that is designed to be completely unstable.
Now, this whole phenomenon isn't just happening in the creek beds. It's also on wheels. Let's talk about these large RV communities that are, for all intents and purposes, rolling neighborhoods.
And this isn't just speculation. We have documented cases. For example, over near East Taylor Street and Highway 101, reporting has detailed a whole tight-knit RV community that was forced to move after a sweep. So this isn't just a story, it's a specific reported event.
And just look at the scale of that one community. We're talking about 40 people, give or take, living in 21 RVs. So again, this is not just a couple of vehicles parked on the street. This functions just like a small, mobile neighborhood. And that wasn't a one-off, not at all. There are also documented cases of dozens of RVs setting up near the Santa Clara County Fairgrounds. So what you're seeing is a clear, widespread pattern happening in different parts of the city.
So the big question is, why does this keep happening? Well, let's break down the never-ending cycle of displacement that really defines this whole situation.
The process itself is almost brutally simple. And it's so predictable. Step 1, the cleanup crews show up. Step 2, the area gets cleared out. Maybe a fence goes up. And step 3, inevitably the whole encampment just reforms somewhere else.
And when you actually lay it out on a timeline, the pattern just jumps out at you. It's undeniable. You've got the jungle cleared in 2014. Then you see the RVs at the fairgrounds in 2021. Then the displacements near East Taylor in 2025. It's a constant loop. And now with a huge event coming up in 2026, guess what? The spotlight is coming back.
And this leads us to another pattern people have observed. It's this potential link between big, public events and, a much faster pace for these cleanups.
So, what you hear from people who live and work in the city, and what the pattern seems to suggest, is that the tempo just completely changes when the eyes of the world are about to arrive. It feels like the pace of these clearings just kicks into high gear right before a major event.
And look, this isn't just about what happened in the past. This is about right now. San Jose is heading straight for a massive spotlight, Super Bowl week, coming in February 2026. And once you know it, there's already a lot of public talk about cleanup initiatives.
This right here really captures that contrast. Before the big event, you see this huge surge of activity, clearing encampments, tidying everything up. But then, what happens after the cameras pack up and go home? The underlying problems are still there, and the cycle just starts all over again.
So, based on the pattern, here's my take. It seems San Jose doesn't suddenly get clean before a big event. It gets camera ready. And believe me, there is a world of difference between those two things.
When you put it all together, the history, the survival building, the rolling neighborhoods, and this cycle of cleanups, you're kind of left with one conclusion. It feels like we're all watching the same movie, just playing out on a different street.
Which of course leaves us with the biggest, most unresolved question of all. After the fences go up, and after the spotlight moves on, where do they go next?
If you want us to do a part 2 on this, to actually map out this cycle, show where people are displaced to, and explore potential solutions, just comment La Jungla below.